I wanted it to end. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of the theater. I'm never, ever, ever gonna see this piece of crap film again. I was a big fan of what Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix did with the 2019 film Joker. I thought that it was a pretty gutsy take on a character that I have grown up with and have really enjoyed in all kinds of media, video games, comic books, television shows, animated work. And I thought this was a totally original take of a human being basically being trampled by the demons that they have in their psyche and pulling off some just horrific things. And it was scary, and it was truthful, and it was really well made. So I was really looking forward to see what Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix would do if they ever reunited to make a sequel. Well, it's here. It's called Joker, Folie, Deux, and you know that the marketing has been intense for this movie, and they also added Lady Gaga to the cast as Harley Quinn, and I thought, oh my god, all right, there's some really big swings that are going to be a part of this experience. And as we got closer and closer to the release date for the film, we started to hear that, wait a minute, this is a musical take on the mythos, the mythology that they're crafting around Arthur Fleck and the Joker. Okay, well, let's go and see this movie and see how this plays out. And that's what I did. I saw it last night, and I applaud its originality, and I applaud Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga taking some huge, huge risks and a big swing with this film, but I freaking hated it. It was so unbelievably dull and absolutely one note all the way through. Pun intended. I could not stand Joaquin Phoenix's singing voice in this movie. And not that the Joker should have a great singing voice, but I felt trapped by the film. I was looking at my watch the whole goddamn time. I was looking at anything except Joaquin Phoenix close-up shot of his face, morose and sad and singing off key. I felt punished by it. I like that there was some huge risk-taking, and it looks beautiful. The cinematography is there, and they got the sense of this out-of-time 1970s again. But it's just Arthur Fleck sad and lonely and getting beat up, and he pines for the relationship that is, we think, might be fictionalized, some fantasized version of this relationship that he has with Lady Gaga's character. And she is this kind of attention-starved, crazed maniac that really wants to get close to Arthur Fleck and admires him because she has seen him from afar. And apparently there's the whole bunch of hero worship that has happened that has emanated off of some of the stuff that Arthur Fleck did in the first film, although that isn't really explored in the movie. It's all done from the perspective of close-up shots of Joaquin Phoenix going through turmoil, and then close-up shots of Lady Gaga either being a puppeteer or also going through her own psychological damage. And then they sing together. They get together every once in a while and they pull off a musical number. And honestly, I wouldn't mind that so much if the fantasy actually met the moment, if we actually got a Joker with some huge epic scale musical numbers that were actually fun and exciting to watch, but every one of them just devolves into this psychotic kind of nightmare fever dream. And even though it starts with a wink and a smile, every single number is just brutal and sad and dull, and that's the crime of the film. And honestly, I have to say, I love musicals. I'm a big fan of musicals. I loved A Star Is Born. I'm a huge fan of La La Land. I love The Greatest Showman. And Singing in the Rain is one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's not the musical thing that bothers me. It's that the musical elements in this movie were just not really exploited as large as they could have been, particularly because we're dealing with a character that has given us so much story across his comics and books and animate everything. There's just so many great works in the Joker canon that have just gone above and beyond what was represented here on film. And I thought that the original Joker movie did a pretty good job at keeping it all grounded, but giving us a sense of the scale of the demons of the character. And I applauded the way that it all came together, and also how it all came together with the distinct absence of Batman, the sense that there is an alternative to Joker out there, someone equally crazed, but in a pursuit of justice. And I don't know how you make a sequel to a villain movie without the hero that really makes the villain at all mentioned or referenced or a part of the experience, but they've done that. And I think that's a major problem with the Venom movies as well. It's just so gratuitous and silly and indulgent and interminably dull. I was just so disappointed by this movie. I wanted it to end. I couldn't wait to get the hell out of the theater. I'm never, ever, ever going to see this piece of crap film again. And I hope that people do enjoy it. I couldn't ever see this thing becoming a huge commercial success. I don't know. Maybe it will. And maybe there will be more with Joaquin Phoenix as this character. But I don't know. This just felt like such a gut punch to me, man. I love this character. I love this mythology. And there are other sort of allusions to elements that exist within this world that I thought, okay, could be interesting, but everything is wasted in this film. And it's not like the performances are bad. We've just seen them before, you know? Lady Gaga is playing Harley Quinn through the prism of Lady Gaga, and it feels like Lady Gaga has inhabited Harley Quinn, and there could have been a little bit more separation there. And I don't know how this whole movie came together, but it kind of felt to me watching it that because Lady Gaga was cast, the idea to convert it to a musical started to happen, or it was, I don't know, but it wasn't realized for me. It didn't work. Maybe one or two pieces, but the whole freaking movie, we're stopping for these just lame-ass pieces of music. And the other thing with Arthur Fleck in this role, we saw it all before. That's the huge drop here as well. We saw everything that Joaquin Phoenix did for Arthur Fleck in the first freaking movie, and it was better. Oh, this movie was punishing. I hated it. I freaking hated Joker, Folie, Deux. I'm sad to say that, but I really did. And maybe Todd Phillips wants people to have an emotional reaction to it. I sure did have an emotional reaction to it. I hated it. I'm giving it a 2 out of 10.